think we're live. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Talmin Legends Session 3. Oh man, here we are, so exciting. Today, we're joined by Hal, Tara, our friend Valen, and Felix. Our friend Jinshi and Kaz are not here tonight. Last we played, you guys located the missing potion supplies. You traveled into the southern docks, met Captain Claude, who tasked you with boarding the ship and helping him clear some rats he picked up in Adoria. Upon entering the ship, you guys realized that they weren't actually rats, but they were rat folk. You sided with the rats, killed the mean, nasty goblin captain, and have employed their service and assistance at the local inn. And that is where we ended our last session. You guys had a good sleep. With that, I'm going to unpause the game, start our timer, and we'll activate the city. I guess not the city, right? We're still in here. We're in the inn. Yeah. All right, guys. So, would you mind muting yourself, Hal, for me? But yes, here we are. We're at the inn. Everybody just got a good, nice sleep. And with that, I will turn it over to you. What would you guys like to do?
To confirm, we have yet to deliver the potion supplies that we acquired, correct?
You have not. They are still in Jinshi's possession, which I just realized, but I will drag those over to your inventory. Or here. I just dropped it on the floor. Sitting on the floor right there. All right. As you guys are waking up and kind of walking around the inn, you smell this faint smell of bacon. You hear like that satisfying sizzling of the pan. The music is really soft and ambient. It's very peaceful.
Is the kitchen currently being used by Kithis and Riddy?
It is. You see Kithis is like kind of teaching Ribby. He's like flipping the bacon and Ribby's like doing it with him, kind of like learning and observing.
I'll leave them to it, and I will peacefully sit down here and start brewing some breakfast tea.
All right. Oh, Hal is not even in the scene. I just realized this.
Hey,
Whoops.
dirty 20.
Hal steps out of his room over.
Yeah, I can't talk. Where has Hal been?
Hal was sleeping. Lion folk tend to have really intense long sleeps.
They sleep 20 hours a day.
Sometimes 24.
Could you imagine if that was written in the race list for Leonin?
What's funny is one of the videos that my child watches is all about animals, and they do a segment on lions, and that's one of the songs they keep singing is how they're lazy and they sleep for 20 hours a day.
All right. Well, Hal's here. You're more than welcome to unmute yourself, Hal. I just noticed there was some background noise in the spirit of trying to keep the video under control, you know, if you got things to say.
Valen will approach Nal here, and I'll ask him, what's for breakfast this morning?
And now looks, and he says, flapjacks like always.
Again?
He goes, flapjacks and bacon whenever they can stop burning it. And you look over and you see that Kithis has like turned his back and Reby just burnt the shit out of the bacon. And Kithis kind of turns back and is just like all upset. He throws it in the trash can, which is just overflowing with burnt bacon.
A lot of pigs have died in service of your trainee there.
He just laughs.
Oh, I'll eat that burnt bacon if it's up for grabs.
Kithis and Reby just kind of look at you. The bacon is like very severely burnt, like basically just charcoal at this point.
It's also in the trash, I may need to remind you.
I've eaten dead things before, so no worries.
Well, of course, most meat is dead when you eat it. Maybe with your kind, not so much. I don't know how you work exactly.
Felix is just gently gonna come over to this conversation with his tray open and just say, if you like, some warm tea might help you drink that down.
Kithis bags up a little sack of charcoaled bacon and hands it to Hal. You can add that to your inventory. I don't know what it does.
Can't wait to get this down.
They go back to trying to cook the bacon. In the moment that all that happened, Kithis turns back around and Reeby's burnt yet another set of bacon. But he turns around and hands you as well.
Well, I won't be having any of that, I'm afraid. And are you sure only flapjacks? You don't have any like in-alt toast or anything like that?
He just kind of laughs and he's like, unfortunately, our supplies are limited here at the inn. If you want a good, solid, quality meal, you're gonna have to visit the tavern.
Felix is gonna just walk up and gently tug on Valen's cape and just whisper and just say, "Wait, be nice to little lad. Eat their breakfast. They're cooking it for you.
And I'm paying them, are I not?
If you can, if you can be hoity-toity and stomach being here, you can be hoity-toity and stomach that burnt bacon, can't you? The boy's trying for you. Show some heart."
Nall says, you guys don't have to eat the bacon, and looks at Hal and he's like, I guess except for you. He's like, but the flapjacks have already placed in your inventory. You're more than welcome to eat those when you like.
May I?
Hal sits.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Hal goes and sits on the couch and opens up the bag and just takes a handful out and like faces it over to Tara and like and just like scarfs it down.
Okay.
Can I ask for Felix to perhaps roll me a persuasion check on whether or not he's going to remain
Sure.
hoity-toity about this bacon?
I'll give it a shot. Hey,
Oh.
21.
You see, Valen begins to like speak in protest, and then he just, fine, I'll have one piece of that shark bacon you have there, not the one in the trash, the one you just burnt.
He handed it to
Felix
Hal
will-
already.
Crap. Another.
Felix will offer a cup of his tea to Valen and just whisper, "Wash it down."
So
He'll give a nod.
in this moment, Reeby pulls a patch of bacon off of the skillet, and it is cooked to absolute perfection. And he's so proud of himself. And Kithis, he's like, yeah, and celebrates. And he comes over here and gives the perfect piece to Valen. One piece of bacon. I don't have an item for that, but I guess if you want to add it in your inventory.
He's just gonna eat it right here and now. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna treat it like a piece of bacon isn't gonna cover a ration, I don't think, right? So he will take it, kind of examine it, its floppiness, its rigidity. Give it a sniff. Very well. And he'll eat it happily and then walk off.
Reeby is so happy. He tells you when he gives you the piece of bacon that it's the least he can do for helping him find a place to stay.
I may have totally forgotten that was the rat folk we just saved. That's fine.
Felix will go over to Haluf and Tara and offer them some breakfast tea.
I would love some for
Hey, you're welcome. It was a bit better than last night, I can say for sure.
each day.
I'll
gets
take a
little bit
cup.
better.
As you guys are sitting there drinking your tea, little Nat and little Kesh run up to you, eager. And Nat turns around and says, "So, what is your guys' adventure today?" And Kesh's like ears kind of perk up, like they're just really excited to hear about your guys' adventure. He says, "Yeah, tell us what you're gonna do today."
Felix will look around and say, "Oh, well," and he'll crouch down on his knees and says, "Well, we'll be turning in the ingredients we need for the alchemist so that we can make some sleepy potions to help people go to bed. And then we have a little bit of an adventure on our hands trying to find out a little bit more about the festivities and why things went a little awry."
They jump and are shout and are super stoked what you just told them. And little Kesh looks up and she's like, "One day I want to be like you." And then they go run off excited, rejuvenated, energized that you guys told them such an epic story about what you're going to do. I don't know, cleaning or whatever they do around the inn, sweeping, wiping.
Good kids they are. They're good lads and laddies.
All right. So is there any...
Right. Right. Well, with breakfast out of the way, we really should get these supplies to Erden.
Right, and then we do need to figure out more about the game master and the guild master and see what they're working on, or figure out if there's a way we can talk to those poor folk in the clinic that are now sleepers.
Yeah, I would. I'm not sure what the whole guildmaster angle is, but this early sleep is been a problem. So once we have some potions that'll keep us awake in case we succumb ourselves, I think we should definitely take a look at the others who have been afflicted to see if there's some kind of rhyme or reason. Because if I recall, my attempts to magically investigate my master's chambers is what almost led me down the same path that he fell into. So maybe it's attracted to powerful spellcasters like myself?
Possibly. I suppose we could write that down for notes for later, if we're going to be investigating it.
Well, are you guys ready to strap on your boots and get rocking for the day?
Yep.
Actually,
Yes.
my boon from my I would like to roll that and see. But I'm not.
So I think if you
It's charisma.
let me
Should
see.
I just? Is it programmed to?
It should be already programmed. So let's see. Once per long rest, when the sigil succeeds on a charisma check, the favor of the card. So basically, this is how the Taroka boon would work. If you were to once a day or once a long rest or whatever, say you walked up to some guy and you were like, "Let me do a charisma check on him," right? You're like, "Yeah," and in that charisma check, you would tell me, and I'm using my Taroka boon. So if you succeeded on that charisma skill check, you would get the card's blessing, and if you did not succeed, does
Okay.
that make sense? And I also
Ye-
didn't add the actual Taroka deck thing table for you yet. I completely forgot until right
Oh,
this
no
second.
worries.
But I added it to
No.
my list, so
That's fine. It's not urgent. I have it all written down.
sure.
What dice roll? But I have a plan for that too, so it's fine.
Cool.
Okay. Okay. So I wait to roll the boon until I want to use it,
Basically, yeah. Sweet.
then we'll hold off on.
All right. Well, you guys strap on your boots, sheathe your weapons, and you get ready to go on your day. You step out the door of the inn. The air is beautiful. Seagulls are flying. The weather is perfect. It's a beautiful Talmin summer. What do you guys want to do?
Aye, so we head straight to the alchemist, yes?
We stop by the bakery. I could use a loaf of bread.
What
Oh.
if we hit the bakery on the way?
All right.
I'll even buy the loaf of
Hooray! To the alchemist!
to the alchemist.
Oh, slow down, big lad here.
All right. Well, you guys can go ahead and move your tokens over to the alchemist. You can do it like that, or in these big moments, you can just drag and drop, however you guys deem necessary.
I win. Oh, you beat me.
I cheated. It's
I
fine.
took a wrong turn.
All right. Well, to the
Oh, you
alchemist.
couldn't give an old man some breathing room to run over.
All right. All right. Let me know when all of your scenes load. All right. As you step inside the alchemist shop, a myriad of scents instantly envelops you. From the heady aroma of crushed herbs to the sharper tang of rare minerals, shelves lining the walls are laden with dizzying array of bottles, jars, and vials, each filled with liquids and powders of every conceivable. Hanging from the ceiling are bundles of dried plants, their leaves casting intricate shadows upon the wooden floor below. In one corner, a bubbling cauldron releases plumes of softly colored smoke that curl upwards, disappearing into the dimly lit rafters. Despite the shop's disorder, there's an undiring sense of purpose and meticulous care in the arrangement of its contents. Behind the polished counter, clustered with alchemical tools and open books, the alchemist sits with a weary smile. He comes and he says, "Oh, welcome back." He's in the middle of like crafting potions and doing potion crafting stuff. You know, he just shoves it all to the side and says, "Do you have the supplies, please?" He like taps the table.
Yes.
"Oh, wonderful." He says, "Did anybody follow you?" He comes over and he like shuts and locks the door. He's like, "The townspeople are crazy."
Not to our knowledge.
He looks at you and he says, "The potion supplies, please, if you will, just drop them on the table here, or I guess anywhere realistically, just out of your inventory."
I will do that. Where? There they are. Can I just drag and drop?
Yep, just drag and drop, baby.
Great new pile.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you. He grabs up the potion supplies. He starts rushing over as he's talking to you guys, as if he's in a crazy hurry. He comes over to the cauldrons and starts putting potion stuff in the cauldrons. Stirring. He comes over here and does a little like grinding and like pouring, and boom, in a cloud of mystical smoke. A big batch of slumber potions. Um, he looks and he says, "Oh, thank God. I had a lady kill another man in the street yesterday for one of these potions. This is good news indeed." He says, "Here, for each one of you." And he's going to drop one slumber potion everybody's inventory, but he's giving you 3. So if you guys can go into your own inventories and change that just to 3 of them. As well as he also gives you guys where the heck they are, a healing potion each. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. All right. After he gives all that to you, he says, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have no idea how much this will help." He says, "Here, if you don't mind, could you please take this to Commander Arendor?" And he picks up one of the big buckets and goes and sets it next to you guys. And he says, "Oh, I was supposed to deliver it to him, but I'm so busy. As soon as I unlock these doors, we're going to have a flood of people in here buying my potions. I won't be able to take them to him. If you guys could, you can keep the money that he's going to pay me for it."
You mentioned money.
Jin Chi joined?
Did he?
I think so. What's
I
up?
see a mic glowing.
Oh yeah, I see.
But-
Yeah, he's here.
What's up, Jin? Are you here?
He had been having mic problems,
He
so
says he realized he can listen to our session. That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, you can watch it back too on YouTube. Whatever's clever. But yes.
Mm.
So yes, he gives you the crate of potions, which I don't have an item created for. I just realized. So they're hypothetical. It's there.
Felix will look at the back where the front door is and be worried and say, "Oh goodness, if there are going to be a flood of people and if they know exactly what we're carrying, there wouldn't happen to be a back door, so we could sneak out."
He looks at you and he says, "There is a window in my room that you can sneak out the back. That sounds like a good idea. Here." And he comes and he unlocks the door to that back room. He says, "Be quick now, be quick. I have customers at the door." And you hear people banging. Boom, boom, boom.
Hello, why don't you do most of the carrying?
All right. Yeah. So as you guys go in the room and shut the door behind you, he unlocks this door, and you just hear like a crowd immediately fill the room next to him. All right. But in the room that you guys are in, it is calm.
Okay, so if we're gonna sneak this out, are the people gonna recognize that it's the ingredients that they need to make these sleepy potions?
To confirm, the crate he gave us, does that have the ingredients to make potions, or is it potions themselves?
That is a crate of potions supposed to go directly to Commander Arendor at the keep.
Okay. Is there any indication on the crate itself that would let others know from an outside perspective that these are currently carrying that kind of content?
No, it's just a wooden crate, Maybe the clanking of jars as you're walking.
I ain't going to enjoy this, but I might have an idea that could fix.
Well, I'm all ears.
Felix will approach the crate that Halif is holding onto, and he will gently, with one arm, begin to take off his entire green cloak, and he'll say, if we manage to arrange the potions in the way and stuff this in, it won't be as loud and clanky. Should be quite quiet, and no one will know what we're carrying."
I suppose that might work. I might have a arcane manner of handling this kind of scenario, should you be interested.
Oh, what fancy magics can you use to make this easier for us?
Well, such spells are quite easy for me, as you can imagine. We call them cantrips, for those more magically inclined, but I do have a couple that may be of use. One, I may be able to disguise the crate as something else, or perhaps at least hidden within something else that's a little less suspicious, a bit of illusionary magic. I can also, perhaps, at least make the cart, or the crate, smell of something that wouldn't draw much wanted attention. We could claim that this crate is not full of slumber potions, as I'm sure they're looking for, but instead of, I don't know, newt puke, or golem saliva, or something of that ilk. And then we'll wave my fingers, and now this crate smells of, well, I'm not sure what either of those two things smell like, but something nasty, all the same.
Oh, I suppose that would work a lot better. And he's just gonna immediately, like, comfort blanket, like, throw his green cloak back on and immediately take back his idea.
Unless anybody else has a more cunning suggestion.
I think this guy's gonna get best, but
Felix will, like, hold on to the cape of his cloak and he says, "Oh, no. The fancy magics is a much better idea. And he'll look over and nervously cringe and say, would the alchemists mind us using their spare sheets or something like that?
Their spare what?
Spare sheets.
Sheets.
On the bed, yes.
Oh, sheets. Sorry, I was hearing heats.
Oh no, it's alright, I understand.
I mean, if you feel like it's necessary, we can, I suppose. But if we're going the whole illusionary route, what kind of thing should I use?
Hal just rips the sheets off of the bed and begins to just roll them up.
All right. Now, in case we're stopped by the onlookers, it is not my customary fashion to often deceive others and give mistruths. House Elundir is known for its honesty. However, are any of you more keen on, I don't know, lying convincingly?
Felix just nervously cringes.
Very well. I'll note that you are a liar. Now, I'll go ahead and use my magic to disguise the crate as some kind of, slightly larger crate, as it were. Unfortunately, the real crate must fit inside the illusion to really kind of sell the whole act here. Perhaps one with like a skull and crossbones on the side, perhaps. Kind of give the illusion of this is some bad stuff, you know? And then a little whiff of, I don't know, bat guano or something like that, maybe, and just, throw them off the scent.
The guards wouldn't stop us if we were carrying something that looks so dangerous, would it? Why not something more, I don't know, a little bit less suspicious? What about, a logo? A logo of something like a tea company? Or something nicer?
I suppose. Are we merely trying to deceive those in the next room, or are we trying to get this by everyone until we reach the commander?
they could cause
Felix
us
will,
trouble.
Felix will nod and say, aye, and if everyone is desperate, that means that anyone, even maybe the soldiers under the commander, might want to grab a potion or two.
Alright, so not skull and crossbones then. Yeah, if we're not going out the door and out the window instead, then yeah, I suppose a tea company would be well enough. I can make it smell like, well, your tea, I suppose.
he nervously smiles and is flattered, and he says, "That's very kind of you, but might I recommend that you take the brand and the logo of the Costa del Sol Tea Company?"
The Costa del Sol company?
Aye, from Midoriya.
Right, well, I'll take your word for it. I'm not well versed on tea companies, as you might imagine. What does the logo look like?
It looks like a beautiful sun, almost, but the lines you use for the light, they're a little squiggly. Oh, and there's a cute little leaf in the center.
Right, sun with squiggly corona and a leaf in the middle.
Aye.
Very well. And what color?
Oh, it's a very dark red color, a bit of a, would you call it a crimson or a scarlet? More like the red you see on the wax of those fancy envelopes.
Ah, I see. Very well, I have it in my mind's eye and ready to unleash onto the crate.
All right. How do you plan on unleashing this?
Uh, well, he'll go ahead and reach into a pouch at his side and pull out a bit of tuft of fur, which on closer examination would appear to be some fleece. And I'll go ahead and kind of rub it between his hands to get it all done nice and warm. And then he'll kind of just blow into it, and then it begins like this, almost like magical dust begins to come out the other side of his hands and envelops the crate that I assume Hal is either holding or has by his side somewhere close. And what would appear is a probably, let's say, a 1 inch thicker all around illusion of a very similar sized crate around the initial crate. A little bit more worn, a little darker of a shade of wood, perhaps, but that does bear on um, two of the sides the red sun logo with the squiggly coronas that was mentioned for the Costa del Sol company.
All right. You do that, and at first glance, the crate is almost unrecognizable. It's pretty good. It's really.
Perfect. And with that, and he'll put the fleece away, and then give a little flick and a swish, and the scent of he doesn't know any other tea off the top of his head, so he probably would make it still smell like a tea he had just moments ago in the morning. So now the crate gives it an overall essence of tea scent. But he will add, I forgot to mention, the illusion doesn't last for very long. I can cast it again and again and again, but we might want to, go.
And what illusion was this that you were using there?
Yes, I
Minor
can
illusion?
definitely. It is minor illusion.
Okay,
I will put it in there for you.
perfect. Okay. The
Oh,
box
I am.
is disguised. And yes, the breeze kind of hits the window, but as it hits the window, it also kind of trails inside and sweeps over this chest and the wardrobe and and all the other obvious stuff, like all the like the food pantry and the cabinets and stuff. All this ripe loot.
We're not gonna rob the alchemist.
We aren't? Oh, I'll put this back.
Oh,
I mean, look, I don't owe allegiance to the man, but I have no need of his trinkets at the moment. You said there's a window?
There is.
ice through the
It's
window.
somewhere like over here. All right. You guys climb through the window of the alchemist, successfully evading the crowd of people that are out front of the store. You guys are all currently kind of like in this alleyway behind, and the crowd of people lies there.
Oh,
Does this mean we can't go to the bakery now?
Perhaps after we're done with the commander and the sleepers, we can go to the bakery.
Fine. Where are we going?
We need to find Commander Arendor. Where would the commander be? I'm looking on the map. He would likely be at the keep, perhaps. Would I know as a resident where to find someone like Commander Arendor? Would I know who he is either?
Yes, you would, and yes, you do. You would know him at the keep. Usually, as the commander, he chills in the barracks in the military.
Hey, Valen, you've got a house around here, right?
I do.
What if we just stashed it at your house and had the commander come to your house?
Oh, Felix just has this look of like, did I overcomplicate things kind of look?
I'm not entirely sure Commander Arendor would make a house call for something like this. And besides, I'm sure my mother's got lots to do on her plate. I don't know if she's ready to have guests right now. It's complicated. I appreciate
Hal looks at Felix while Valen is saying this and just like kind of rolls his eyes like,
Hello, you never know if he had to write a note to this commander if it'd never be picked up, or someone gets a little snoopy and reads it.
On that note, DM, I'm just kind of gazing around. Is the barracks on the map?
The barracks is not on the map. The barracks, every location that's white and marked on the map is ready to go. You guys can go to it. It's ready to rock. Some locations on the map won't actually be real locations that we're going into. So, for instance, the barracks is, I don't know, just one of these little side buildings kind of by the keep. You know what I mean?
I believe by the keep. Okay, but Valen would understand where that is.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Okay.
It's up in the I don't know what you would call this, the green district or whatever. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, he
let's
would.
just take it. Let's just take it to the hospital and see what they can do with it.
What I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure these potions A are meant to be delivered to the commander for the payment mentioned, and B, I believe they're supposed to keep you awake longer. It's like coffee.
I
So the-
don't believe we want to put the sleepers to even more sleep.
Well, that's what I mean. I believe the potions, if I recall, and forgive me, both DM and players, I believe the people wanted this potion because they were so tired. It was some kind of kept you awake longer and kept you from falling asleep like the others have. So those in the hospital who are already asleep, I don't know if the potion would wake them up per se, but
Would you roll a
it's
perception check for me?
Oh yeah.
Or do a wisdom
yeah.
check, actually.
No, the wisdom check. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do one of those. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey!
So, as you're in the middle of explaining this, the memory comes back to you about what the potions actually do. And slumber potions are for sleep. They do help put people to sleep. But the sleep itself, even though people are sleeping, they're not waking up feeling rested. So in this perpetual state of tired until eventually they don't wake up. They're so sleepy that they don't wake up anymore. So the slumber potions are to help people early in the stages of this just actually go to sleep and have a good restful night.
Gotcha. Okay, that's my bad.
That's okay.
All right. Well, at any rate, whatever these things do, I don't think taking them to the hospital will be much help.
Fine. Well, let's just take him to the keep because maybe the commander's there.
Yes, I would believe he would be found in the barracks therein. Come on this way. And unless someone else knows the way, you can go this way.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And then you go this way. And now, are there a lot of eyes on them watching them carry this crate around town?
I mean, yeah.
Do we go down these alleys?
It's the middle of the day, but you guys are hauling ass right now, so everybody else is kind of pretty busy and preoccupied.
Okay. If need be, Valen would stop for a moment and recast the illusion, because it only lasts for about a minute before it reveals itself otherwise.
Sure.
But
well, as you guys are running, you're casting it and you're conscious of that. Whoa! Stop right there! And these guys step in front of the gate, and they look and say, "What business do you have? This is no place for whoever you are." And he looks at you as in like he doesn't really recognize you, but he sees you wearing the black and the gold.
We have delivery for Commander Erendor from Erden, the alchemist in town. Move aside.
As you say that, their eyes go, oh, "They're here!" And they just step aside without a question. They go right ahead. Hurry up! And then they start arguing. These guys, "No, I'm gonna get one first. No, I'm gonna get one first." And they're like arguing. All right. As you pass through the imposing stone arch of the keep's outer walls, the rhythmic sounds of clashing steel and shrouded commands reach your ears. Before you stretch the training grounds where Commander Erendor, a figure of authority and discipline, is intensely overseeing a drill. The guards under his charge, despite their armored stature, seem uncharacteristically sluggish. Their movements are hesitant, their faces bear traces of fatigue, and their usually sharp reflexes seem dulled. Erendor's voice cuts through the air, frustration evident in every word. "Faster! Wake up! The city won't defend itself," he bellows. As you draw closer, his gaze, sharp as a hawk, shifts from the struggling guards and locks onto your group. And he turns to you guys and he says, Who are you disturbing these drills?" And then he does some motion or something, and all the guards snap up to attention.
Hello. Very rude.
He looks at you and he's like, lion folk. And then he just like turns to you like he's not talking to you and just looks straight at his elven brother and just immediately addresses Valen. He says, who
would
are
Valen,
these with you?
would Valen know? Would Valen know like in an alt, like salute or like greeting gesture of formality that he could perform?
Yeah, sure. There's a gesture that every Analt elf knows. It's a symbol of pride amongst the Analt elf people, and you do it. Yeah. He does it back.
Good. Good morning, Commander. I am Valen Eilundir, here with my associates to deliver a crate from Erden the Alchemist, told to bring directly to you, sir.
He says, Alan, dear. He's like, that name sounds familiar. He grabs a crate from you, and he looks at it, and he looks back up at you, and he goes, what is this? Tea? And he drops the crate on the ground, and as he does, you hear some, like, glass rattling and stuff as it hits the ground.
My
Good thing we
apologies.
covered it in sheets.
And with like a flick, he'll go ahead and dismiss the illusion. My apologies. We were trying to be a bit more discreet, getting this into the keep.
He looks at you
Yeah.
and goes, what is this? Is this a trick? And him and all of his guards like put their hands on their hilts as he just stares at the crate, which is still at this point unmarked.
Open it. It's the the sleeping potions that you were waiting for, I believe.
As you say sleeping potions, his like guard drops, and you see all the soldiers over here under his command, like their eyes get all wide, and they like lose their postured stance and start getting all antsy. He goes, potions. He reaches down, he pulls open the top of it and sees like the top of the potions, the purple potions or whatever color they are. I don't know. Purple's probably sleep. That makes sense. He shuts the lid and he's like, oh, thank you. These are from Erdan. Here. That must mean that you're responsible for the payment. And he hands each of you 50 gold pieces as payment. You guys can feel free to go on your own character sheets and add that yourself. And he looks and he's just like, well, make yourself useful. My brother will be so excited. Why don't you carry those inside? And he just walks off, the crate directly in front of him, but immediately, in like a posh gesture, just pawns it off on you guys to carry.
All right, Hal, you heard him.
Hal goes to pick it up and like just kind of like throws it up like high into the air and then catches it on his shoulder and walks in.
All right, is everybody ready to enter the keep?
Yeah.
Okie doke, I think you are all here. Looks like it. All right. I might not have music. Okie dokie here. I don't know if this plays for you guys or not. As the grand double doors of the Moon Harbor Keep swing open, you are greeted by an awe-inspiring sight. The interior of the keep boasts an elegant blend of strength and artistry. Towering stone pillars intricately carved with scenes from the merchant's city's storied past rise to support a domed ceiling that's adorned with shimmering mosaics. The blend of marble floors and rich tapestries create an atmosphere of regal opulence, contrasting the fortress's imposing exterior. Yet, despite the majesty around you, your gaze is suddenly drawn to the throne. There, Lord Virion sits, a ruler ensnared in overwhelming weariness, his posture slouched, a stark departure from his typically commanding presence, and deep, shadowy bags under his eyes portray sleepless nights. As the door creaks and the ambient noise of your footsteps fills the chamber, he seems almost oblivious, his focus lost in a haze of exhaustion and deep contemplation.
Hey, buddy, where do you want this?
And he snaps back into it and he goes, what? Who are you? And he stands up. And then Commander Arendor steps forward. He says, these are messengers from Erdan. They come bringing the potions. Virion hears the word potions and, much like everybody else, jumps up and runs towards you. And he goes, potions!
Oh,
now!
hey, back up.
He like points at the floor in front of him.
Please would be nice.
And sense the just uber desperation in his actions and demeanor. He's like, potions!
Hal very like slowly like takes it down, like painstakingly sloth like. Oh.
He reaches down, Lord Virion, and pulls the top off of the crate and immediately grabs a potion, uncorks the cap, and just boom, chugs it, downs the entire thing in like 2 or 3 gulps. And as he does and he comes back down, he takes like a breath, and almost in an immediate motion, you see like relief over him. And he looks up at you. He's just like, "Thank you for these potions. You have no idea how much my men will need these." And then Arendor grabs the rest of them and goes off to them or whatever he does. Lord Virion looks back up at you and he says, "Who are you guys? I haven't seen you before."
I'm Hal Wolfsbane, time traveler. Hal bows.
He just rolls his eyes and he says, "Did you find these people off the street, or Arendor?" And Arendor just kind of like shrugs. He says, "And what about you?" And he looks at Valen. He says, "Who might you be? Are these yours?" And he points to everybody else.
Yes, my lord, these are my associates. I am Valian Islandir of House Islandir, here to deliver the package on Erden's behalf.
When you said your name, you see him kind of just stare at you blankly, and he's like, "Alindir, like the Velvet Church Alindirs." And he steps down, kind of gives you like this weird squint.
I assure you that is but rumor and speculation. It has reached my ears of this slander, but no, we are not the Velvet Church, of course not. We are a proud house, doing our duty, just as we are now.
He looks at you and he says, "Oh, isn't that their MO? Picking on and recruiting." And he kind of goes in quotes. He's like, "Proud houses." He rolls his eyes. Let me see. He then turns to you guys and he goes, "Well, I am Lord Virion Galdries of Moon Harbor. I am the lord that runs Moon Harbor." And he does a bow. um, he looks over and he's like, you guys look familiar." And then Desmond comes up and kind of whispers something in his ear, and he goes back. He says, "Oh, you are contenders in the Golden Tides tournament, were you not?"
We won that, I'm pretty sure.
He looks at
Felix is gonna glare at Halof and just make like a cutthroat motion with his one good paw.
What? I don't.
and he's just like, "Shame to hear about the game master." What was his name? Alfie, I think. I forget. The game master.
Diddy, I think.
He was such a good friend, such a good game master, loved by many. And he's like, "And then you killed him." And he looks back over at you.
Allegedly.
And he looks and he's like, "You're lucky. You're lucky. In normal circumstances, you all would be rotting in the dungeon. But," he's like, "it was an impressive display of skill. And to be quite frank with you, we're pretty low on need and skill right now. All of my soldiers seem to be sleeping their days away." And he's like, "If I didn't need you," he's like, "I would kill you." And as he says that, it just immediately sends this like weird, I don't know, energy out. Like shit just got real. And he looks at
I
you.
like to see you try, Al says under his breath.
All of the guards and everybody around just kind of start giggling. He goes, "Okay, kitten, calm down." He comes and he says, "Come to my throne." He comes and sits down on his throne. You can tell he's starting to get sleepy as like the potions affecting him. He proceeds to tell you guys pretty much what you already know, that the town has been struggling with a sleep problem for the last couple weeks. But here in just the last few days, it's ramped up. And he doesn't know what to do about it, but it's a big problem. His brother comes up and tells you guys and asks if you'd be willing to help.
I believe we were already going to be looking at the hospital and seeing the folks in the clinic that you call sleepers, seeing if there's anything that we can identify about them and see if any fancy magics are going on to keep them sleeping.
Lord Virion stands up. He goes, "I'll tell you exactly what's going on. It was that dirty moon druid." And Arendor just kind of like looks back at him. And he's like, "Not now. Lord Virian's like, no, it was the damn moon druid. And he looks at you guys and he's like, find him. And as he does, he's like nodding off a little bit. He's it's about time for me to go sleepies. He's like, Arendor, take over from here, would you? Proceeds to go off into his. Arendor steps up and apologizes to you guys for the Lord's behavior. Just explains that everybody is very tired. People are dying, and they basically are receiving zero support from the Golden Forces, and how they're really dead.
There's no need to apologize. I understand that when one isn't given enough sleep, they tend to get a little antsy, and when they're driven to exhaustion with no sleep, they tend to get a little bit more rowdy. We'll put it. The good Lord. What were they speaking about with the moon druid?
Arendor kind of takes a breath and he's like, a few weeks back, there was a moon druid that used to live in a city named Valeda. Valeda was known for being rebellious. Long story short, we ended up finding a camp of wild folk living out in the woods, not flying under the flag of the Empire. When we finally told them if they
So
could
living free, like all wild folk should be.
and he looks at you and he's just like, well, according to the government, he's like, you can live as free as you want as long as you fly our banners and fight our wars and harvest our crops.
So slaves. Felix and I don't stand for this.
He looks and he's like, everybody's free. He's like, we give you the option. You can either join us, you can leave the continent, or, or else.
Felix is gonna gently approach Haluf and tap him on the thigh and just say, whispering to him so that the commander doesn't hear, and he says, let's pick where to put our swords and our axes a little bit more wisely now. Fight for later, fight for...
Al just kind of growls and then steps over here and sits down.
The commander clears his throat in like an authoritative way, almost as if you were like not really much of a person, more of just like a pet that just kind of acted up, Clears his throat, disregards you, and then proceeds to tell you about how the band of wild folks was living out and about, and the Empire told them that they could leave, or they could die, or they could fly their flag, essentially, and Valletta helped them escape before the Empire's forces showed up. And because of that, the Empire kicked him out of Moon Harbor on trial. He's on trial and wanted as a dead man, but he fled Moon Harbor. And when he fled, they believe that he cast this sleep.
Felix is gonna raise his eyebrow and say, aye, this Valletta, you say, the moon druid. Do you know where they last were?
He looks and he's kind of like at you in the same respect that he just treated Hal, which is a lack of respect, and talking to you in like a pet voice. And he just looks and he says, no, little guy, and then looks back at Valen and addresses Valen directly, and says his ex-lover was a centaur named Twala. They had a falling out not too long ago, but if anybody knows where he's at, it might be her. We've asked her and we've questioned her, but she swears up and down that she doesn't know where he's at, and they're not a thing anymore. Because we don't have any substantial evidence, we can't go in and arrest her. But you guys come from a different angle. You're new here. You're a wild card. You can speak to Twala and get it out of her.
Very well. That's as good as Lee as any. Where might we find this Twala?
Twala runs a bakery, and they kind of laugh. And then Twala runs the bakery, and everybody laughs. And then Desmond over here makes a joke about how she puts hair in all the food, and all the guards laugh like it's a big joke that a centaur would be. He's just like, you could find her there. She should be there. Like she has anything else to do. And they all start laughing again, making fun of her.
Valen will kind of join in on the laughing, but like with anyone with a decent insight could probably tell that he's not all into it, but trying to just kind of play into the vibe, so to speak.
Okay. Nobody notices. Everybody just laughs along with you. And he says, "Well, run along now. Find Twala and let me know what you find. Report back to me with anything news that you do find." And he goes and
Before we leave, Commander, I don't know if it's within your power to give, but perhaps you could speak to your. Now, would I know that these guys are all Galdrices here? Are they all brothers?
they are. The Galdrees are a powerful, famous family, and currently their family is at the head of Moon Harbor.
Okay. Then Valen would continue in saying, as the good Lord mentioned before, there are definitely some rumors floating about in regards to my family and my house. I do hope that in accomplishing this task and thus saving the city, perhaps your Lord might be able to squash such rumors from circulating here, at the very least in Moon Harbor, for slander is not good for anybody's name. Am I correct?
He looks at you and he's just like, "What'd you say your name was again?" "Aelin, dear." And then Desmond runs over and whispers into his ear and then runs back. And he looks and he goes, "Ah, Aelin, dear. Yes, your father, wasn't he caught up with the Velvet Church? That nasty organization." He's like, "How could anyone ever recover from that?" He's like, "There's nothing but shame on your family." He kind of takes a breath and he says, "If anything, you might suggest switching your name before anybody here would be okay with accepting that."
Hal, in hearing this, kind of stands up and is like, "Why would this guy be running around with another guy?" Points to himself, who defeated most of the Velvet Church's men back in the day. And he pulls out the torn off hood that he carries around from the Red Velvet Church. And he's like, "See,"
He looks at your hood.
and I will.
He looks at your hood that you're holding and he's just like, "I can't lie. Killing the Velvet Church, that does give you some respect." And he goes and he's like, "But telling these crazy stories about how you've defeated most of their men, nobody's even seen one of them before. They're just myth at this point. Who even knows if they are men?"
They were basically paper men. I shredded them with my claws.
"I'm sure." He rolls his eyes, not believing a word you say. Turns back to Valen and he goes, "If I were you, I would keep your pets in check. Walk around telling wild stories like that. And why?"
Pets!
Oh god, Felix is gonna pull Hal's tail before he does anything stupid.
The commander just kind of rolls his eyes and goes, "See, this is why I voted that we shouldn't have wild folk in this city. How you all should live in that other place that I'm forgetting the name of right now. That other city."
Yes, well, then you wouldn't have hairy bread, right? Anyway, that's
Bloomcrest and Roke. Those are the cities that I was thinking of.
yes, we're all quite tired, I can imagine. We shall return with news of this moon druid and their entanglement with the city's problem.
He tells you, he's like, do so quickly." And he takes a big yawn, and that chain reacts everybody else in the room, taking a big yawn, and he's just
And
like,
Hal, seeing them all yawn and knowing that we're all getting ready to leave for the bakery, pulls out his bagpipes and plays a little ditty.
you
Critical
play your
failure.
little ditty, and
Little duty.
it's more of a little duty. As you play your bagpipes, it's just a screeching noise. It's early in the morning. Everyone covers their ears and they say, enough with that. What the hell? Alan, dear, get
I
out of
just
here.
play
Take your
it all
pets
the
with
way
you."
out, all the way out of the key.
Valen, Felix will look to Valen and say, "We don't know, ought we?"
I don't know anymore right now. If you think that's best, then by all means, just get this done.
I'd like to.
All right. So we are back outside in the city. Holy smokes. I wonder where the hospital is.
How convenient.
Is that what you guys want to do? Do you have any business before entering the hospital? Or do we just want to go straight into it?
We might
Oh,
as
wait,
well
one
go
of them.
straight into it, right?
It's so close.
Sure.
Let's take advantage of that and then how bakery.
Fine.
All right. Shut up, music. All right. Where the heck was the hospital? I control F.
We're there.
F control F this bitch. Hold on. All right. As the door to the hospital creaks open, a chorus of snores greets you, echoing through the halls like a somber lullaby. The sight before you is unusual. Every bench and chair is occupied, uh, not by the bustling of the awake, but by people in a deep slumber, amidst this particular tranquility from one patient to another. But their efforts appear fruitless, a silent testament to their helplessness. Your attention is drawn to an elf behind the counter, adorned with a red cross that marks her as a doctor. She eventually notices your presence, and her eyes hold a vacant look, clouded with exhaustion. Her wary gaze meets yours, revealing a story untold of long nights and unending care. A feeling of unease.
Well, I suppose we ought to find your master, Valen.
Yes. Fenor. Uh, Madam.
She looks at you and she says, "Oh, we don't have no more beds. If you have the sleep, you're gonna have to go home. I'm so." And she starts like ushering you guys out the door. It's like we don't have no more room. I'm so sorry. And she's like
Hold
desperately just
on.
pushing you.
Just we're not here to occupy beds.
Oh,
Thank heavens. We're actually here to visit one of the occupants, Professor Fenor Nolderon.
and she comes back and she's like, "Let me look at my manifest of people that we've had looked at." And she like opens her manifest and you notice that all the dates, like there's not a lot going on, and then also within the last few days there's just like a massive chunk of people coming to the hospital. And she like flips through all these pages as you guys scrolls down. She's like, "Oh yes, Fenor, he's the mage from the mages council. He should be in room, I don't know, 2." Which is
Room this one.
over there. Yeah, she points over there. Room 2. You're more than
Oh.
welcome to see him, but unfortunately, everyone here is, well, asleep.
Excellent. Valen will go ahead and turn to the other three real fast and just say, while I take a look at him, why don't you speak with the nurse, see if you can learn of any similarities between those that have become affected, or I don't know, perhaps some means of acquiring when this might affect us. I don't know. She might know more information just having been here for as long as she has.
Hal walks up to the counter and, like, with his tail, like, kind of like brushes her hair out of her eyes and is like, "Hello, darling. How are you?"
She's so tired and exhausted that she doesn't pick up on any social cues, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. What can I do for you? Do you need assistance?"
Just wondering, what's going on? What's your deal? What's your story?
She says, "I'm Dr. Mariona Vanellis. I studied at the surgical college in Etheria, the capital of Etheria." She's like, "I'm the best doctor on this side of Moon Harbor." What was that for,
Just in
Tara?
case I'm wingmanning right now.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. She basically proceeds to tell you her qualifications, and that she goes on to tell you that lately she's never experienced anything like this. Since the sleep has affected the city, they have no known cure. The only thing that they can do is force feed the sleeping people so they don't starve to death when they go into their final sleep. But a lot of times the final sleep is what they're calling it when like people go to sleep and don't wake back. When they go into the final sleep,
Have
9
you ever
times out of 10 they don't.
have you ever thought about just using magic to put good berries straight into their stomachs?
And she looks at you and she says, "Yes, that's what we're actually doing right now." And she points over to her nurse, and the nurse is just like, "There's a dude sleeping with his mouth open," and she's just like summoning good berries, and like they're just magically appearing and like one by one going down its throat.
And then Hal looks at her and he says, "You know, the cure for what ails me is your eyes."
Felix is gonna yank his tail.
Will you roll a charisma check for me, Hal?
Sure. And I get to roll a d4 and add 4 to it.
All right.
Dang it.
So, what is that? 15?
That's 11.
Oh, 11. Well, she contemplates it. She contemplates what you said for a second, but then rolls her eyes and is just like, "Sorry, I'm not attracted to the furry kind." And then
All right.
and then she looks at Tara and then walks over here and then starts flirting with Tara.
Oh God.
Felix is gonna whisper to Halif and just say, "Dark lad,
That's the best place to get them. They spend most of their time there.
Halif, lad, how many women has you talked to?
Hundreds,
And where did you get
tens.
that advice?
My old man, Bobcat Loggins, told me best way to get to a woman's heart is to compliment her eyes.
Felix is gonna close his eyes and just shake his head, and he's gonna look up at him and say, "Look, you did better in front of the commander, not swinging your axe at them, but please remember what I told you about chase and tail."
Play my bagpipes first, because women love music. Here we go.
No,
No? Oh, okay.
So as this
just
conversation is happening outside, Valen walks through the door into Professor Noldorin's room, and you see your professor, the once respected you, as in you respected him, you viewed him as like this powerful, authoritative figure, is now laying in this bed. You can tell his face is shrunken in, even from only 1 or 2 days of sleeping here. You can clearly see how quickly that deteriorates one. But yeah, you see him laying there.
At a quick glance, do I recognize the person by chance in the adjacent bed?
You do not. It is just another woman dead asleep, showing the same sunken. Um,
Okay.
the heat.
Does it seem like the professor has been force fed anything recently?
Yes, it does look like that. You can see a little of the goodberry juice on his face.
Okay. Um, okay. He'll go ahead and take a look around and see if he can find any of his belongings that would have been brought in with him.
Um,
Is this chest here something of
so
importance?
you do. You look and you look at that chest next to you, and you see that on the chest it's written or whatever. I don't know. You can you identify that it's his things. The chest is unlocked. It's just sitting there. There's a note on this little end table, basically.
Because he was curious. Because now does Fëanor live here in Moon Harbor, or does he live in the capital?
No, he lives in the capital. All the Grand Magus, they all live in the capital, and then they're all like dispatched to Myth. That makes sense.
Right. So he was here for a purpose, probably, is
He
what Valen's assuming.
he was. If you go into your inventory and read the note,
Yeah.
maybe or maybe not. I don't know. Man, I might tell you. I don't know. I don't know though. And if you actually roll the note, it'll pop it in chat, and everybody can read it.
There we go.
Does somebody want to read that to us, just for the viewers at home?
Yeah, I can go ahead and read it for us. Okay. Esteemed Mage Fëanor, you are hereby assigned an urgent task by the Grand Magus Council. Our divinations have revealed a perplexing anomaly in the town of Moon Harbor, a place now overshadowed by a mysterious affliction known as the Deep Sleep. Reports indicate that residents are falling into inexplicable coma-like states, trapped in what appears to be a temporal stasis. This situation demands immediate attention from one of your unique talents and expertise in chronomancy. Your primary objective is to investigate the root cause of this anomaly. The pattern of these occurrences suggests a magic of a rare and potentially dangerous nature, possibly a curse. The Council fears that the phenomenon is spreading rapidly, endangering more lives with each passing day. Exercise utmost caution, Fëanor. This is not merely a disturbance in the flow of time, but something far more sinister. The Council is concerned about the potential risks to your well-being, as exposure to this anomaly could have unforeseen consequences. Remember, the line between investigator and victim is perilously thin in such matters. You are entrusted with this mission due to your proven skill and valor in the field of chronergy. The Council believes in your ability to uncover the truth behind the deep sleep and, hopefully, to find a means to halt its spread before it claims more victims. Respectfully, the Grand Magus Council. Um, so, with that in mind, he's gonna kind of look back at Fëanor. Is there anything else in the chest? Like, does it seem like he's been taking any kind of notes on what his investigation has led so far? Anything like that?
No, you don't find any journals. You find his robe, his epic staff, that he's famous for, and like just like personal belongings, little sack of gold, just like personal stuff, but nothing that would really determine his investment. We roll a perception check for me.
Yeah,
Yep, that's all you. That's all you see.
fair enough. Um, all right. Well, last time he tried to investigate the room magically, I think he almost succumbed himself to this sleep. Um, so he's going to refrain from that from now. Um, there's not much else Valen can do for Fenor at the time, but with this note, that kind of provides a bit more information on some of the details. So he's going to go ahead and just uh, pocket that, and then, if possible, um, can he scribe on the house sigil of Elundir on the note that was taped to the, or fastened to the end table, so that should he by chance manage to wake up, um, he could see that note in place of the missing letter from the Magus Council.
Um, on the table next to that note is just like a blank piece of paper. If you wanted to leave an actual note with your sigil in place of the letter, you can.
Okay. Yeah, he'd scrawl something quickly and just say, Professor, I'm sorry to see you in such a sorry state. It appears the whole town is fallen victim. I've been asked by the Lord to look into this as well. Me and my companions will do our due diligence and see you awoken post haste. And then he'll sign, sincerely yours, Valen Islandier. And then he'll leave that folded on the instand there for him before heading out.
You come out to hear Hal pulling out his bagpipes and Felix and everybody being like, "No, no, 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 no."
Felix will approach Valen and just say, did you find what you need?
Well, I found something which is better than nothing. Perhaps we'll speak more of it outside. But for now, let's head to the bakery. I believe our
Aye.
Did you
lion
try
friend.
shaking them awake?
Yes, I did. Didn't work. Darn it.
Darn it. Oh well.
Well, with that, before you guys head back out into the city, even though Valen didn't hit his perception check, did anybody else maybe want to take advantage of this room full of sleepers? Or I don't know.
Definitely.
You guys.
Hal will give it a try.
All right, Hal.
So I feel like you're
As
definitely
they're leaving.
prepared for a bunch of evil party members.
Hal just gives it a glancey and just like kind of like closes his eyes and meditates a little using his lion senses. God.
Even in you doing so, you can tell something strange. You can tell something is unique about the sleep pattern of everyone.
Oh,
That is all you can sense.
dang. I wonder what they're dreaming about.
You wouldn't want to.
All
You
right.
know, one time a mage touched me and I went into a dream world. Saw a lot of weird stuff. Got this. Pull out my shadow blade. Like, pretty cool, right?
Oh, that's, quite the weapon you got.
So as you pull
Yeah.
out your Infernus Great Sword, it's made of shadows, and normally the shadows are flowing in all directions. But as you pull out your sword, you see that all of the shadows immediately go chink and lock in as if they're being sucked into the nearest sleep.
Huh.
Oh?
Oh, that's weird. Well, time to go to the bakery.
I feel like I have more questions, but sure.
I mean, if you got fine, let's investigate why my sword is acting weird. And I just like use it like a whole water finder.
If you all believe something is wrong with the magics, and that be caused by the sleepers, perhaps there would be something going on.
So as you get
I
closer to
don't
these
know.
sleepers and you're holding your sword out, the closer you get, the more violent the shadows, and as if they're like attracted to it.
Huh. Should I touch him? Blunt end, of course, not sharp end.
Is that what you want to do? You want to touch them?
Hal turns the sword sideways and like touches their forehead with the blade.
So you touch.
What am I rolling against?
Nothing. That was just for me.
Okay.
As you touch the blade to the forehead, The second the shadow makes contact with the sleeper, their eyes shoot open with like them rolled back to the head, so it's just pure white. And as that happens, it happens to Hal too. He like snaps up, his head cocks back, his eyes roll to the back of his head, and he sits there, kind of just like spazzing for a moment, and then the connection severs, and Hal falls to the floor, um,
Oh,
asleep.
uh,
Oh.
oh, uh, and he's just gently gonna come over to Hal's side and like hold on to his cheek and say, oh, "Laddie, can you hear me?" He's gonna check if his heart is still beating with his ears.
Will you please roll a Constitution saving throw for me, Hal?
Sure. Oh yeah.
So, Hal, you shake him, Felix, and as his head kind of dangles, he like his eyes flutter and he snaps back into it. Um, oh, I made that not invisible. There you go. Hal, you wake back up, but as
Well, that was useless.
as you snap back into consciousness, no, you feel this overwhelming sense of like tiredness wash over you, like intense tiredness.
Man,
It's like
I
deep in
could
your
really go
bones.
for another 24 hours.
Are you alright? You fell on your back and you fell asleep.
I know I'm only about 45 years old, but I'm feeling real tuckered out.
Like, oh,
Hold on.
goodness.
How do I
Why
type a
don't...
private message? Does anybody know?
You go to, I think there's a way to do it. I think you right-click on the player, and you should have an option to, like, message privately?
No. Maybe if I
I could have sworn Foundry
Hal,
had something like that.
kick player, band player. Yeah, kick player. I think it does. It's like slash chat or whisper maybe.
Yeah, maybe Whisper. Just do, like, slash Whisper, insert player, like, random player name, test.
I don't know. I was gonna do it cool. I'll have to figure it out. To game. Yeah, how'd you do that to me? Hal?
I did \W, and then I typed in your name.
Space my name or just W?
Yeah, space your name. Did that work? Did anyone else see that?
I haven't seen
No.
anything in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out later because that's not working for me. But anyways, Hal, as you come to your senses and you start gaining more of your consciousness, it through that crazy flash of light and nonsense that was happening while you touched the sword, you kept seeing an image flash over and over, and the image is just of an eyeball.
Oh, I see it. I see a weird eye, everybody. You guys see that?
A weird eye. No. Where do you see it?
Like right in front of me, man. It's just like every time I close my eyes and open it, it's like, whoa, flash, eyeball. What? I don't know.
Is this because of the magics?
Um, I don't know.
Felix, will you roll a
Glep.
perception check?
Sure thing.
Oh my god, you guys
9.
cannot hit over 7. Oh my god. That's funny. Anyways, uh as Felix is concerned about how you start looking up and around and you notice that everybody that's asleep are breathing and snoring in the same motion. Not exactly, but pretty close.
They're all synced up. Look, and he'll point with the he'll point and he'll say, "Watch them close. Watch them. They're just watch them closely. They're all moving the same and they're snoring the same and breathing the same. A good doctor. Is there a reason for why they're all breathing the same?"
The doctor, staring blankly like into the wall, hears you call her and she kind of looks up at you and goes, "What?" And then she looks and goes, "Oh yeah, they are all kind of doing that, aren't they?" And she goes back to just staring at the wall blankly, trying to herself not to pass out.
And wait, would I have, when I was looking at Howlwolf earlier, was he doing the same while he was conked out?
No, not necessarily. Are you talking about when he was breathing?
Yeah, when he fell over and
He wasn't
fell
really
asleep.
asleep long enough for you to really, because it wasn't until
Okay.
after when you know.
Felix will look over to Valen and he says, I guess that's another thing to add to the note about this sleep and curse, and the magic's it's making people breathe the same.
Yes, that would be indicative of their joined suffering in some way, and not more of an individualized problem. Um, I did recall, Terror. Uh, you mentioned having a spell that can more readily identify the kind of magic that's afflicting something. Yes.
It'd be best we not risk it. Aye, and Halif, you better keep that fancy blade sheathed so that you don't do anything that'll make you fall asleep like that.
Okay. And the blade disappears as he puts it back in his bag.
Maybe we all ought to start heading to the baker then.
Alright.
Yes.
Sweet. All right. Well,
So am I now cursed?
you are not, but even though you're not cursed, you feel in this particular moment really not it's I don't know like a good way to describe it. It's not tired, sleepy tired. It's just pure exhaustion. But you feel it's not affecting you too crazy right now, but you definitely feel it a lot more than you did before.
Okay.
As all of you guys are going on your adventure, you guys are feeling it as well. This deep exhaustion that you're trying to ignore and look past.
Felix, like after walking so long, will kind of using his sword as a cane and sheathed. He will kind of put it on his back where he usually does, and he'll gently like pull Halif to try and get his attention.
What's up, little buddy?
I hate to ask, my bones are a little bit brittle, and it's getting hard walking everywhere here in the harbor. You're
Climb on.
Oh, thank you. And he'll gently climb on. And as everyone begins walking, Felix kind of just like bounces up and down on his shoulder with each step, and then he'll quietly like speak up and say, "Oh wait," when they're out of earshot of the soldiers and everyone else, he'll say to Haluf and kind of everyone, I want to take a finger off the commander. I won't deny you that.
Yeah. He's not a
did.
very nice dude.
Aye, but you did better this time. I was convinced you were gonna try and throw a javelin through him.
Yeah, I thought about it, but
Kind of add
didn't want to.
No,
Oh,
jump
go
in.
ahead.
Oh no, I was just to Hal and
Felix shakes his head and he says, I wouldn't know. I mean, Edoria still has a few of its elves, folks that look like Vaden, and the commander and the lord, they come over every few and then, and they say their hoity-toity words, and they try to, I guess you could say, flex the muscle across the people here. We don't pay it no mind, we just laugh and go on with our day. In Edoria, whether you be wild or an Inult or even human, we're all really stuck on the same continent in the same sea.
Aye, that's how it was before the god mist was lifted when I lived on Adoria. Everyone was just kind of doing their own thing. I mean, there had been some wars, a bit of genocide earlier, but most people got along pretty peacefully. I never really experienced any sort of speciesism until I got to Arcadia, where our people, points to Felix, were enslaved. Basically started a rebellion. That's how I got this. And he pulls out he has a wild folk shield that he got from an elephant.
Felix kind of pouts and answers Tara again. And he says, it's quite strange being on the other side of the boot, I guess you could say. When you were in Edoria, we were all so diverse and different that we didn't care much about who we were, where we looked like, or what we chose to do. If you were a farmer, a blacksmith, an adventurer, a hero, it didn't matter. But here in this place, it's weird being on the other side. The folks that I used to jest with and those Inults who visited and learned to live like us. It's, I hate to say and to make the mood more dour, but it's a lot more oppressive.
Hey, Valen, who lives here?
I believe this is where the Gold Thorns dwell. I'm pretty sure was it not the game master who was a Gold Thorn?
The game master was not a gold thorn, but the guild master of the merchants guild was.
Yes, okay, that's what it was. I believe that the guildmaster we met the other day resides here.
I know I really want to go to the bakery, but should we pay him a visit?
I'm not personally sure how that would help, but if you feel the need, as long as you won't impale him on a javelin, by all means.
I can't be for sure about that. I'm kidding. No, he was kind of weird. He was quiet.
Felix will speak up and trying to jest and joke around after acting a little down. Will say, I believe his javelins are a little bit aimed more at the commander's head right now.
For sure.
Did you guys want to go in the Goldthorn Manor? Yeah.
Let's give it a shot. Why not?
This is a pretty open format game, so if it has a location on it, you guys can go into it, and there's shit already planned out for it. So here we go. Pull your tokens over them yet. So
While they're
here.
answering, while they're going inside, Felix will kind of look over to Howluf and gently hop off his shoulder and say, "Now, if we do come across that guild member that you had a spat with, just know you can bite down on your teeth and say you're sorry, and they won't pay you no mind. 'Cause if you take the higher road, and we find something, like some dirt on them like you were talking about, maybe the people will look up to you a little bit more."
Wise words, my little friend. Wise words.
Aye, now give me your javelins, he says, offering his arm.
Alright.
Hal takes out one and like drops it into Felix's arm, and then takes out the second one, and the third one, and then the fourth one, and sighs as he drops it.
I'll hold on to.
Yeah, whatever.
Alright. So as you step through the imposing entrance of Goldthorn Manor, you are immediately enveloped by an ambience of opulence and meticulous care. The air is fragrant with the subtle scent of fresh flowers and polished woods. Elegant tones of cream and gold dominate the interiors, accented by plush furnishings and shimmering chandeliers that catch the ambient light. Dominating the entrance hall stands a magnificent golden statue, or I guess I switched it, a magnificent fountain.
Fountain?
It's a fountain now, in intricate detailing, and blah 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 blah. Your admiration of the surroundings is momentarily interrupted by a heated exchange between two elves. One desperately attempts to defend himself against the fiery words of the female aggressor. "You just need to get down there and be a man," she insists with fervor. Before he can reply, her keen eyes catch sight of your party's entrance. "Oh, enough, we have company," she declares, swiftly transitioning from frustration to a graceful, welcoming demeanor. And she steps down and she's like, "Oh, you must be here from the city guard or the Adventurers Guild, yes?" Ailman steps forward. He's like, "It's about time. They're down there." And he points to this door over here.
Yep, that's what we're here for. I look back at Felix. I'm like, "Give me back my javelins."
I be holding on to these for a little longer.
Mm-mm. Well, actually, I came to apologize for tailing your friend at the games.
He looks at you and he goes, "Ah, I thought you looked familiar. Yes, you were the Golden Tides contestants." He's like, "Ah, what a shame about old Elfie, or Alfie the Elfie, the game master. I forget his name.
Felix will raise his finger and go, Alphys.
Alphys, yes. Ah, poor chap." And he looks at his sister, and his sister kind of shrugs, and he's just like, "Well, one man's gain is another man's loss," or something. His sister just rolls his eyes.
Right. Well, what's this business you're on about?
He looks and he's just like, "Are you not with the Adventurers Guild?"
No, we are. We'll take care of whatever you have. What's going on in that room over there?
"Oh, nasty dusktails have burrowed into our wine cellar, and they're making a muck of everything downstairs. We need you to go down there and kill them. Kill them all."
Why didn't you ask your son? Can he have a bow? He's really good at bows. Can't he do it?
And as you say that, he walks through this door right here, and he says, "Dad, who are these?" And then he walks up and he goes, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
Is this the archer that Valen paired off against in that round of combat?
It is.
He'll just snicker. He won't say anything yet.
he comes up and he's like, "It's not every day where you have a bunch of losers of the Golden Tides tournament come into our house." He looks at Hal and he's just like, "And this one's not even wearing shoes. He needs to get his dirty feet off the rug." Our nice maids just cleaned up the place.
To be fair,
I purposely like rub my feet deeper into the rug.
to be fair, losers walked in when you came home, so couldn't be that infrequent.
He just
Good
stares
one.
at you like he doesn't even understand what you just said. He doesn't even have a response. He just doesn't even know how to handle it. Um, Ailman comes down and puts his hand on his son's shoulder and is like, "Calm down, Callan." And he steps back. He's just like, hold on. How am I to phrase this? They went from competing in the Golden Tides as heroes, and now they're clearing our wine cellar of rats. And then they all just kind of chuckle. Well then,
Well, we're still heroes because no one had to buy our win.
Ailman and
Felix,
Israel like don't really understand what's happening, but as you say that, you see Callan kind of like bite his lip a little bit and kind of get like mad, and he looks the other direction like he's kind of nervous.
Felix will speak up and gently bow to the Goldthorns, and he'll say, "I apologize for me and my friends showing yourselves at your doorstep. However, if our kindness is not welcome here, and you would rather your, I guess, prestigious weapons and abilities to take out these mice, then by all means, we'd be more than willing to let you deal with the duties."
We would never dare to touch a rat. A dirty dusktail comes up to Callan, and they're just like, "I would never subject my boy Callan to do something like that. That is a job for lowly adventurers." And he looks at you and he's like, "No offense, but kind of much like yourselves."
Aye, but perhaps, like all lowly adventurers, with good folks like yourself, lowly adventurers like us don't do work for free, you know? What would be the reward for us helping you?
He looks at you and he says, "Well, the reward is exactly like the flyer at the Adventurers Guild said, 50 gold pieces to every exterminator that comes and kills one of those, or all of those dusktails. I want all of them gone."
50 gold each? Perfect, we'll do it.
He looks at you. He's confused because you guys just said that you're from the Adventurers Guild.
Felix will raise a finger and say, "And a nice bottle of your wine, please."
He says, he just rolls his eyes and he's just like, I guess for the less fortunate. And he kind of like looks over at all of you guys, and then he eyes Valen, and just groups Valen with everybody else. And he's just like, "I guess, poor folks like yourself, you can take a bottle of wine. It's probably the best thing that'll happen to you this year."
Oh, no, I just wanted to offer to take the wine if it's going to be dirtied by those rats. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to be dirty.
Israel comes up and she's like, "That is a good point." She's like, we can't let the others know that we're drinking rat wine, honey." And he goes, "Oh yes. Well, if that's the case, you must take all of the wine now. Get it out. We will not have any of that dirty rat wine. Not in my house." And Israel just kind of smiles.
Felix is just going to look back at the party and have this, sly little red panda grin on him.
All right,
to the killing then.
Pleasure doing business with you, good Goldthorns.
Yeah, hurry up. And then they unlock the door.
Good job, Felix.
Hey, you're welcome. You'll enjoy this drink tonight.
Oh.
All right, let me throw your token, Felix, Sarah.
Okay, thank God they are actual dusktails, not children.
So, do I have?
They're so cute looking.
Yep. As you guys walk downstairs and open the door, the light from the door on the other side, the dusktails scatter to one side, and they all start sniveling and snarling, and a battle commences.
Would Valen have had the time to cast his mage armor before heading down the stairs, knowing that there's a conflict ahead?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm just gonna do.
God, there's so many of these joints.
Dang, Hal.
Woo woo woo.
All right, Hal.
Okay. As we come down the stairs, I tell my companions, I say, I've never killed one of these things before, so I would like to kill one. and keep one because they're so cute too.
You go ahead and keep one, laddie.
I move in 6. Target this guy, and I attack. Oh, I should have. Do I hit?
You do. Their armor class is 13.
Sweet. And then I just come crushing down with dealing 14 damage.
All right. You hit him for 14 damage, and as you do, the dusktail just kind of collapses in a pile.
And then I use my extra attack to do the same thing to this little guy. Ooh.
All right. You smack that poor little dusktail too.
For 12.
And that one also falls to the ground, dead. Is that it?
That was all my turn. That's all I could do.
All right, Terra. Sure you can. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check to see if you can hop up there.
You might have. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there's technically a door. I didn't give much room for you guys to come in. Sorry. You do. You jump up on the barrels. You're up there balancing on it, or on the crate, or whatever.
And that's gonna be my version of the towards the dusktail.
All right. He rolls.
Saving.
This dusktail rolls a saving throw. Does not hit it. As you talk about how you're sick of rodents, he just kind of squeaks in offense. Not only does he squeak in offense, he goes and just like collapses on the ground and just dies. Poor guy.
That'll.
I need to open my window. It's hot as hell in this joint. God dang.
Felix, identifying the situation and thinking on his toes, will look at Valen and point his sword at Halif, and he says, "Alright, you handle those dusktails with Halif over here. Terra will support me from the back, and I'm gonna run in." And as he's running in, he'll say, "Halif, you stay on that side now."
Copy that.
25, 30. Alright, that is my full movement, and I will hold action and attack, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. Oh, this dusktail. What's your guys' movements? 20. Oh, why'd you move like that? What the heck?
Well, hey, that was his move.
It's just they're small and you can only move them on full tokens. You can't move them like quarter tokens. I guess that's 5, 10, 15, 20. He runs over the top of that dusktail, targets Hal. What attacks do you guys? Oh, this one uses burrow. He digs underneath the ground. And yeah, can you guys see him when I mark him invisible?
He disappeared for us.
Good. He's under the ground.
Oh, the dead one's moved. The dead one is moving now.
Yeah, it's because I had to move this one. It's okay. He's dead. Don't worry about it.
Ghost.
This dusktail also rolls his burrow and goes underground. God, there's so many of them. They all use their burrow and go underground. They all use their burrow and go underground, and they're all invisible. Let's just say that so I don't have to do it. Valen.
Alright, Valen will use 5, say 10 feet, I guess, to get into the room with the door here. Following after Felix's words, he comes in, doesn't see a single thing except for a couple of corpses. Is it handled, or are we done here?
I know, stick to Halif, there's still some.
He'll see off the corner of his eye his compatriot here up on the barrel, and he'll be like, "Terra, why are you? Are there like holes in the ground where they would have burrowed in?"
Yeah, like little mounds.
Ah. He too is going to hop up onto the crate that's beside him here.
All right.
Would you like some kind of check for that?
Yeah, athletics, please.
Athletics. Well, that's not my strong suit.
Yeah, you're stand on the crate, but it's very wiggly and wobbly. Doesn't have the best balance. It's not the best crate.
Sure. With that in mind, he's going to go ahead and just draw his rapier and hold it out in front of him, and hold his action. To instead of attacking with the rapier he's drawn, he's going to kind of swirl like this frost into his hand, kind of circling and charging almost, waiting for something to leap out. So he's going to hold an action to cast Ray of Frost at a creature he can see.
Okay.
and that'll be his turn.
What does Ray of Frost do?
It's a cantrip. It just hurls like a little mote of cold damage at a creature. It does some damage, and if it hits, they also get their speed slowed a little bit as well.
So where did you send it?
I haven't. I'm holding an action, so basically I'm waiting for a trigger to occur and using my reaction to do the action.
I see. Okay. Cool. Hal, it's your turn.
So I want to reach into one of these mounds and pull out the creature. Do I use animal handling or nature?
You can do that with a bonus action. I would probably use animal handling, I guess.
Okay. Oh wait. Oh yeah, animal handling. Okay. I reach into the hole.
You do it. You reach in the hole.
And I pull a live one out.
He's sitting there. You have it by the back of its neck. I forget what you call that on an animal. You know what I mean?
Gruff?
Gruff.
Yeah, you have it by the gruff, and it's sitting there. It's trying to like slice you and bite you, but you have it. You're just holding it there in your hand.
And as I do, I stick it in my bag.
What bag?
My backpack.
You don't have a backpack.
Then how do I carry all my stuff?
On your hip. Yeah,
Okay, fine. I put them in my frog pouch.
Wait, where is your frog pouch?
On my hip?
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, do you want to keep your frogs or do you want to keep your dusktail?
I don't have any frogs in there. I gave them back to the frog mother, but I never renamed it just pouch. So my frog pouch.
Okay. Well, then you stuff it in a little pouch. It just barely fits. Now it's a pouch with dusktail.
Now it's a dusktail pouch.
All right, you do that. You now have a dusktail in your pouch.
Perfect. I will train it later, and I will kill all the rest of its friends. So can I use my extra attack since I technically didn't attack?
Sure.
Sweet.
I think it was this one right here.
I'll target the hole here.
Okay.
And I'll just I never use my claws, so I'll just like reach in and I'll just try to slash it with my claws. And I do not.
All right.
No.
You know what that means, Hal? Hold on, guys. This is a good moment. I haven't implemented it in my game yet, but I have me and Hal actually made a whole supplement for criticals.
Hey.
8 and 8 each. Yeah, it's available right now on the website if you guys want it. It's like in version 1. Let's see. Dynamic criticals, Nat 1. Let me pull it up.
I rolled a 6.
So friendly fire. Nobody is near you, so
No.
you take the damage yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, friendly fire. It says you take the damage self trait, and damage self is
2. I rolled 2.
1d8. All right, so you took 2 health damage. You nick yourself.
Oh. Ouch.
All right. Why is it not turning? Oh, I think because I turned overtime.
Overtime.
Terra. Did not. All right.
Alright. Felix is gonna notice Valen and Terra behind him get bardic inspiration, and he saw these things burrow, right?
Yeah, like I said, there's little mounds and holes.
Felix has a weird idea. As he gets his inspiration, looks at Valen and Terra, he's just gonna gasp. He's gonna run over here and just kind of get more over here. He's gonna shout out to Halif and say, Halif, you might want to back up a little bit. I have an idea.
Okay. And then I kind of roll over here on top of these barrels.
Felix is gonna just start with like full strength in his knees, just start jumping up and down and stomping on the floor, and he's just gonna start screaming, I know a song that gets on everybody's mind. And he's trying to make as much noise on the floor as possible to see if that will attract the dusktails to him.
Okay. So you do that, and as you do it, nothing is happening. Is that your turn?
Right. Yeah, that's gonna be his turn. He's gonna see if that attracts the dusktails to him.
Okay. It does. This dusktail pops. Oh, that's never mind. That's near you. Okay, he can't do nothing. He's there. I didn't plan these guys' attacks out very well, did I?
Felix is gonna point at that one that comes out and he says, I knew it!
Hit him with that hammer.
4, 5. This one runs at you too. Eyes locked onto you, Felix. So does this one. So does this one. He pops back out and he runs over towards you. Hold on. Whoa, buddy. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hit ya. Holy
Yeah.
smokes! He pops out and attacks you. It's with his sneak attacks. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, it's true. He uses pack tactics because his friend is within feet of him, or with 5 feet of him, and he's going to attack you with his bite. Oh, well, doesn't matter either way. I don't think he hits you.
I got scared seeing that symbol. I thought that was the nat 20 symbol. Oh, actually, if he missed, I will use riposte on him.
Experience superiority on make a melee attack against a creature. All right.
All right. I'm gonna swing my longsword at him. Ah.
Oh.
So you know what? I'm gonna spend luck. I'm gonna spend luck to re-roll that.
All right.
Yep. Use that resource, and then I'll re-roll an attack.
Oh.
You know what? Better than a nat 1, because I don't want to hurt myself.
Sure.
I'll take the
True,
miss.
true. Oh, the stuff that you can
Go
do
ahead.
on the roll table is pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's a good one. You guys will have to give it a look. I forgot to plug it in chat because I just got finished with it. Like, finished. It's not
Hey,
realized.
hey DM, are these ones that are attacking? Have they come up and out now?
All the ones that popped up did, yes.
Okay. Can Tara and my reaction go off as we were holding our actions to do something when that thing came out?
Sure.
Okay.
guess-
Tara.
Yep, Tara first.
Yeah, Tara can go first.
I'll just.
Which one? This one? Oh. He's
Oh.
so locked onto Felix and his jumping that he didn't even hear you.
And then what's the target button? T.
Yep.
There you go. I'm gonna grab that guy and just hurl a ray of frost at him as he approaches.
All right.
27 to hit.
You do. You smack him with a ray of frost. The actual ball of frost itself is almost larger than the poor little
Ooh.
guy.
That's not bad, damage-wise.
It-
12
Nice.
points of cold damage.
It smacks.
Killed him.
It smacks him, momentarily freezing him into an icicle, and then he just explodes and shatters on the floor. He's dead. Explosion.
Felix is gonna point at Tara and Valen and be like, I could work you too.
Oh, that's the wrong one. That one runs up to you still because you're jumping around the floor. This one. Oh my god, stop it. Also runs up. This one also runs up. These steps. Runs up as well. All right.
Okay, Valen now seeing Felix's plan come to fruition. As cunning as it was, that does mean that they've all been drawn closer to him, which wasn't in his game plan. But he is going to go ahead and hop along the barrels. There we go. And come down here. Oop, not on top of it. There we go. Here, kind of to help with the larger influx coming up from this northern area. And he'll go ahead and, with the rapier drawn, he'll make a weapon attack against this guy right here in front of Tara. And give it a good old slap on the face with his rapier.
All right. Slap on the face.
Another 19 for 26 to hit.
All right. You hit him.
Dang.
You slap him right on his face.
Oh crap! I had meant to do a green flame blade. That's okay. I forgot. Well, for 5 points of piercing damage on that guy.
You poke him right in his face for 5 points of piercing damage, and you wound him, but he is not yet.
Okay. Well, I goofed, but that's all right. That'll be his turn as he stands in a defensive position, waiting for the onslaught to come.
Okay. So can Hal jump from here and land on both of these guys?
To like kill them?
Guy.
Goomba stomp them, yes!
Yeah. I've got 2 feet, and they are within a 2-foot range.
Give me an athletics check to see if you jump on them, and then give me a strength check to see.
Athletics or acrobatic?
Or acrobatics. Do acrobatics first to see if you jump.
Oh. Okay.
So you do. You jump through the air and you're hovering above them. And as you go and slam your feet down, will you please roll me a strength check now?
As I do that, I go into a reckless attack, which gives me advantage on strength rolls in the air. Advantage. 15.
All right. Let's see. These guys are going to roll a strength saving throw against you. It does not work. You slam down on them. What does improvised weapon deal?
1d4.
1d4.
Would you roll me 1d4 for, or just 1d4. See how much damage you do to each of them.
Come on, 4.
You do. You jump. Is it 1d4 plus your strength mod? Oh, what is your strength? Your strength mod is 3. So 4. So you stomp on each of them, but you only land on their tails, which still hurts them pretty significantly. Each they take 4 damage.
Yeah.
All right.
Aha. Squeaky.
Yep. They're just yelling at you. Stepped on their tails. Their fluffy little tails.
So are they stuck under me?
Currently, yes. So
I look over at Felix. I look over at my friends and I'm just like, should we just try to capture all these guys and release them back into the wild?
It might not be easy.
What if we picked up one of the dead ones and was like, look at your friend, look at your friend?
I would like to in this situation, but I don't think they're smart enough for that.
Alright, my turn's over.
Alright. No one in this party has speak with animals, do they? I don't think they do.
No.
Alright, Tara. You heard him. He hears what you say out of the corner of his little pink little ear. And he hears you and he looks over, and as he makes eye contact with you, his heart just comes to a full stop.
Go get more. And I'll, there's another bardic inspiration.
Alright, I'm going to swing at this little dusktail right here.
Alright.
Alright, attack.
You
Nice,
hit.
24.
You hit him hard.
Damage.
Oh.
3.
You swing at him, and you barely nick him. You take off one of his little paws. That didn't
Alright,
quite kill him.
I'll make another attack then.
Alright.
9.
You do not hit.
Small little buggers are you? Alright then.
Even with that one paw, he like breaks your ankles, you know?
Aye! Alright, that's my turn.
This dusktail looks at Felix, uses his pack tactics and his bite. I guess that was supposed to be with advantage. It doesn't hit.
Alright.
The other one, this one right here, runs up and goes 1, 2, 3. Looks at Felix again, and he's also going to roll his pack tactics and roll his bite. Let's see if they're his attack. Does not hit. Alright, this one also looks at Felix, rolls his pack tactics and his bite. Does not hit.
I will specifically repost that one.
Okay.
Alright. I will roll my attack. Normal.
Alright.
Dirty 20.
You hit him.
And I do 5 slashing damage.
You slash him for 5. He tries to bite you. You dodge it and you get a little opportunity strike on him. And it's just enough to kill him. Alright, where's this one runs over?
Little things are for practice, but I still got it.
That one just runs. That's all they can do. This one looks at... Or no, this one, I guess... How will you... I don't know. I guess let's roll a strength saving throw.
To try to get out from underneath my foot?
Yeah. What is your strength
And you-
DC? 7, is it... Would it be 17? Is that how that works?
Yes.
His saving throw has to beat your just
Yeah.
straight up strength, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, the first one tries to bust out, and he does not. This one over here, he runs up. Oh, whoops. He runs up to Felix. Oh. God, these things are so small, so their movement's so freaking difficult. Hold on, I have to move you. Move him.
It's all good. Don't
Move
worry.
you. He's going to run his pack tactics and his bite as well. Neither of them hit. Man, you're just over here like. This one also rolls his strength saving throw to see if he can get out from underneath Hal's foot, stepping on their tails. And he does. He snaps out, or squeezes out from underneath your foot, so he's no longer restrained.
Dang.
But I think that was his action. So I think he's going to use his remaining movement to run away over here. This one also is going to run up to Felix. And you know what he's going to do. Pack tactics and attack. Did I hit you?
No, actually hit.
Holy smokes, he actually hits you. Oh yeah, big 3. Bites you. 3 crippling damage. Alright, Valen.
All right. You see the approaching onslaught of these dusktails, and as soon as your turn banner goes away, I'll be able to see what I'm doing. Oh, I click it. Oh, there you go. Okay. I guess movement's kind of tricky with them being the size they are, but am I within reach of this one, or do I need to like move around to the north?
5 feet would technically be right here, so he is 10 feet
Okay.
away. 15
Oh,
feet.
I'll just step up then, I guess.
Okay.
That'll work.
That will.
Actually, better yet, I think I will come here, so that's still within 5 feet of the one below me, technically, right?
Yep.
Okay. He'll come up here by the barrel to his back for some defense, and he'll go ahead and cast Green Flame Blade, so that green flame begins to once more envelop the right edge of the rapier, coming from the hilt first, and lunges with his thrust through this dusk tail. So he'll go ahead and make that Green Flame Blade attack. That's an 11 hit.
No, it does not. Their armor class is 13.
I will go ahead and use the Bardic Inspiration I was so gracefully given by our Bardic friend, which is a D8 now, I believe. Does a 17 instead hit?
It does.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm making sure this damage is done right with this macro here, but let's see. So this guy, the one I'm stabbing, will take a total of 12 damage, some of which is fire, some is piercing, I'm not sure if it matters. But 12 damage to the guy I'm targeting.
Okay.
And
That fries
the
him.
guy behind the flames will continue to push through and incinerate this dust thingy and move to the creature behind it. And the one behind it will also take some damage. I'll have to roll it again just so I can get the damage to let me click it. Yeah, ignore the attack roll here. Well,
If only.
hang on, I can do normal hit. No, that's not right. I saw apparently that's still not programmed right.
Okay,
He
that
takes.
damage.
I'm just gonna re-roll it. Oh, the one behind it takes 12 points of damage as well. Actually, it's D8 plus my intelligence modifier. Would be the
Alright.
guy behind him.
Well, you scorch both of them. They both fall over in little crispy chunks. Their big bushy tails are now just little tiny thin rat tails as all the hairs are singed off.
Perfect. And with that, he'll go ahead and move into their position, into there, right there, to kind of supersede himself between the next one and the friendly bard behind him.
Alright.
Do these creatures have sensitive ears?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Rolling against their constitution, I guess.
Yes.
You play your bagpipes so horribly near this one in front of you that it actually does improvise weapon damage. If you want to roll that for
Yes.
4
God.
plus, what was it, 3? So, alright. You play the bagpipes and the dust tail just grabs his ears, blood gushes down, and he just falls over, unconscious.
Okay.
Or dead.
And then are dead. So then I'm going to move 1, 2, 4, 5. Move there. And then with my extra attack, I will play the bagpipes again.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Hold on, let me Okay, so you play the bagpipes so good that these two actually end up stopping their assault and become enchanted by this.
Yay.
Enchanted by the music. But this one over here is also enchanted, but in the enchantment, it also raises his health. And but they all look at you. And they're all stunned. Alright.
Cool.
Stunned by
I
how
look at
well you
Felix
played
and
the
I say,
bagpipes.
use animal handling and get them. We could use them.
Are you sure?
Train them.
Right?
I think it is Tara's turn.
With the fire. Ew, that's so gross.
I smell a burn. You say that to him, and he looks at you and looks at his friends, just traumatized. Oh man, you kill him. He just falls over, dead. He holds his little head because of your comment, and then he just dies. All right.
Oh my god. Alright. I'm gonna entertain Howloaf and just take out my rucksack and try to see will Dusktail fit in it?
Yeah, there's currently a dust tail inside a house pouch just scratching around.
Alright, is the one that I'm targeting, am I able to just put it in because it's stunned?
You please use animal handling for me. You can use it with advantage because of them.
Alright. Thank God
Army
for
of
advantage.
Alright.
We're gonna have an army of dusktails.
You do. You pick this dust tail up and you shove him in your bag.
This is gonna sound so goofy. Am I able to use the extra attack to do the same to the other one? I know it's...
Sure. Roll another
Alright,
animal
here we go.
handling with advantage.
With advantage. Oh, no, that's disadvantage. Wait, fuck.
Let's just
I'd have
let's
to
just
take
play it like it was advantage, and you just rolled a 15.
15 plus 2 plus 3, so dirty 20.
Yeah. So you also pick this dude up, stick him in your bag. Here, let me go into your inventory and I guess add a dust tail.
I'm gonna walk over to Half and just say, please tell me you have room in your...
I'm to the DM. I sent you a message. Because my original character sheet that got ported over into this game, I did have a backpack.
That's cool. I can add another one in for you. Yeah, I remember when we lost the session and I had to recreate everything. I just didn't port it the right way. But
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, I should have room.
All right, so
Right,
both
here,
of you
this
guys have dust tails in your bags. That being said, they are not happy about being there, and they are scratching their way out. Your bags won't last for very much longer with them in there.
Ew.
Felix is gonna see if he can just dump the two that he caught in his rucksack into Howl's backpack.
I mean,
I open up
We'll
my
have to
back.
wait another turn to do that.
I guess you can give the dust tails that you caught to Hal. Here, Hal, now you have both of those dust tails, but
Perfect. Yes. And as I take those dusktails as a bonus action, I feed them my flapjacks that I didn't eat.
roll an animal handling again for me, would you?
Can I give
Certainly.
him... Wait, no, I can't, damn it. I already used my action.
Come on, good roll. Yay, 13, 17.
All right, let's see. Where's they?
Haha.
They accept your gift of flapjacks and for a moment stop ripping open the inside of your backpack and just start munching on the flapjacks.
We accept your sacrifice for now.
That being said, there is still one more dust tail who is stunned, so nothing happens. Or what does stunned mean? He has disadvantage, right?
Yeah, and
Whoops. Sorry.
He loses an action.
That was.
He loses
and
an
all
action.
attacks. Yeah, he can't really do anything on that turn. And anything that targets him has advantage.
How does he snap out of being stunned?
He has to make a
Um,
con check.
So I guess he uses this action to do his con check, basically.
Yeah.
So he had to get 12 or better because it was my constitution that stunned him.
Okay, well, he is still just confused. Alright, Valen. The last little Dusktail just sits there confused, looking around, just not knowing what to do.
All right. Well, once again, he'll go ahead and sheathe his rapier this time with the other hand, conjure that same kind of frost crystals in his hand before he kind of throws it like a dart towards the remaining Dusktail here. And he'll go ahead and cast Ray of Frost. He is stunned, you said, yes?
Yes.
I don't know why it rolled 3,
It said,
but
oh, I think you're privately rolling, Valen.
oh, I am perfectly rolling. I was trying to make a macro for myself.
Oh, no, you're good.
Can we just go ahead and re-roll? So it rolled 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Normal. Oh, that was not. Okay, well, does that hit?
Well, it hits, yeah.
I'll call it good. And I'll do the damage. 9 points of cold damage to it.
So you shoot the ray of frost at him, and he also freezes, much like his brother. And then, boom! Shatters on the ground. Ice shards everywhere. Ending your guys.
Felix will sigh in relief, look around and say, "Is that all of them? Tara, I think you're safe to come down now. Aye, watch your step. Don't get your boots a little stained."
Can I use my wood carving tools and skin all of the dead ones?
So, I have roll tables for them. So if you want, you can.
Oh, you do?
You can loot them, and you might get a chance of getting a hide. If
Okay, that's fine.
How many dead ones are there? If you guys want to divvy out the
1,
loot,
2,
I'll
3,
start
4.
rolling roll tables for everybody.
There's 11.
Cool. So you guys each claim your own little Dusktails, your little group of them, and I'll. What's 11 busted out by 4? That's what.
11
2.
by 4. Just give it to the 3 of them, because I'm not gonna loot these things. Because that'd probably make the math a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's whatever. Just like I said.
Well, 11 by 3 is like 3.6. Repeating.
So, one of you take 4, the rest of you take 3. So, yeah. Hal, we'll do you
I'll
first.
take these.
I'll take the 4. Okay. All right. Enemy animal loot, Dusktail. So you got 4 of them, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
did anything just pop up for you guys?
I saw rolling in Dusktail loot, and
Oh.
that's it.
Okay, here, I think I fixed
Yeah.
it.
That's all it said.
All right, Hal. That's everything you find. I'll drag it over to your inventory.
Sweet.
All
What's the
right.
difference between a hide and animal fur?
Hide is the skin.
Yep.
Like the leathery skin of it.
Oh, okay.
All right. Who's taking the other 3? Who else wants Dusktails, huh?
I can't say that Valen would have the mindset to pick through these rodents for loot and things, so I don't think he will partake.
Okay.
It seems beneath him.
At least 6 juicy Dusktails up for grabs.
If no one wants them, Hal will take them.
I think Tara's more into them.
All right. Well, Hal, let's roll the other 6 Dusktails for you then.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. All right. Here, let me transfer all that over to you. And then, maybe I wonder if there's more. All right. There you go, Hal. A bunch of animal stuff. Tara, you want to check? You want to check the barrels? They are pretty much all full of wine and mead. And did you want to check that one? Wow, that's what it has in it. This cluster of them, right? Did you want it? Well, you check the barrels and you have a chance of finding stuff. All of these only had the equivalent of 1 bottle of moonshine. All right. Well,
Alcohol.
this barrel was claimed by Tara. You checked already?
Why is this box black on top?
Because it's open.
Because we
Is it
probably
just
can't
empty?
see it.
It's supposed to be like open and empty.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, yeah. You
I
guys-
guess Valen will take a look at these group of barrels over here in the
So-
south corner.
All of these barrels right here, Valen checks, and you find
Nothing.
nothing.
Fair enough.
Can I check these barrels?
All of these barrels were just checked by Valen. This whole corner right here.
Oh, that whole thing.
Yeah, that's how I'm
Gotcha.
doing looting. When you guys loot, I'm just gonna do like the group of stuff near it instead of every single thing. I think that's. But Hal wants to check those.
Can I do all of this? Then?
You can.
Am
You
I
look through
able-
that liquor keg. You find.
Is Felix able to check whatever this is when they're done?
Yeah, you absolutely can. On stuff like this that shows a chest or a bag on the floor, you guys are more than welcome just to walk up to it and open it up and take what's in it. You guys don't have to
Oh,
ask.
okay.
When you guys ask to loot stuff, it's stuff that's like roll table. You know what I mean? Which is just
Alright.
like generic loot that's not predetermined.
Roger that.
And there's some crates here as well to the west of the main barrels in this middle.
You want to check those
Valen-
crates?
Yeah.
All right. Find a small glass bottle and 2 torches in that chunk of crates.
All right. I think he'll take those.
All right. Did Tara want to check these? You find 6 meat, and then Hal wants to check those crates.
Mhm.
Oh, you find 5 carrots in a potion pouch. Inside the
Woot woot.
potion.
And then,
Sorry, what?
as I'm standing next to their door, I use my paws to carve my initials into the door.
Let it
Alright.
be known.
You
Oh my
do.
God.
Hal was here.
You carve
Hal was here.
and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a masterpiece. You show off just how your skills in wood carving. Magnificent. All right. Well, there remains 2 barrels to check from. I guess that one too, if you guys are interested. Or we can.
Well, it's probably time for me to get off. I gotta work early tomorrow.
It is true. We can definitely wrap up here. I did know that Felix might have found something cool.
Yes, I did. I did.
What did Felix find?
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
How you want to search those? Flapjacks in another potion pouch.
Sweet.
All right. Cool. So, did we want to go ahead and wrap it here? Or we want to discuss what Felix found and then?
I think it would be best to save it for next session.
Can you give us a hint?
We're all invited to something.
Oh.
Damn you, Strahd.
Continue, Strahd.
Yeah, no, but that's
damn it.
probably a good place to call it because I also gotta get up. Well, I gotta still do a couple hours of work tonight before going to bed, so I'm good to call it here.
Okay. Well then, with that, let us bring down the recording. Thank you guys so much for playing. Thank everybody at home so much for watching. What a great session 3. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks for session 4.
Woot.
Take care, lovely folks.
Lovely folks.